never planned this story found us on its own. Two hearts in quiet corners, afraid to be alone. They say that we're a problem, a line we shouldn't cross. But love was never something that asked about the cost. Every rule they gave us couldn't change what's true, because every road I walk still leads me back to you. When love has no permission but still refuses to fade, we keep holding on to the promises we made. Even if the whole world says we're living it wrong, our hearts keep singing the same forbidden song. Every door they closed on us left echoes in the night. But every time you hold me, the dark begins to light. They say this dream is fragile, a flame that won't survive. But every breath beside you makes me feel alive. They can try to stop us, they can draw the line, but no one owns the power over hearts like yours and mine. When love has no permission but still refuses to fade, we keep holding on to the promises we made. Even if the whole world says we're living it wrong, our hearts keep singing the same forbidden song. Maybe love was never meant to follow every rule. Maybe broken boundaries are where our hearts stay true. When love has no permission, still we stand the same. Through every doubt and every fear, through every hidden pain. If tomorrow tears us down or tries to make us part, they'll never take the truth away. You still live in my We talk between the silence where no one else can hear. Every word a secret, every touch sincere. Your name lives on my heartbeat, but never leaves my lips, because the world around us would never understand this. So we hide inside the quiet where our truth can stay. A thousand silent feelings we're afraid to say. These are whispers we can't share, floating softly through the air. Words of love we keep inside, like a secret we must hide. If the world could hear our hearts, they would tear this dream apart. So tonight shadow next to mine feels like a stolen dream. Two hearts in the darkness, afraid of being seen. They don't know the story written in our eyes, a love that lives forever behind our quiet lies. Every glance across the room says more than words can say, but every step toward you feels like walking into flames. These are whispers we can't share, floating softly through the air. Words of love we keep inside, like a secret we must hide. If the world could hear our hearts, they would tear this dream apart. So tonight we stay aware of the whispers we can't share. But tonight our fragile love only lives between the lines. These are whispers we can't share, but the truth is always there. Even if the world can't see what you mean to me, and if someday we must part, still remember everywhere all the love that once lived in the whispers we can't share. Chase the sunset with laughter in the air, dreaming of forever like nothing could compare. But the world drew lines between us and pulled our hands apart. Now we're just two strangers with one unfinished heart. Every road they forced us down leads me back to you. Even when the distance grows, my heart still feels the truth. We're under the same sky, apart, two lonely beating hearts. Different roads, different lives, but you're still in my heart. Even if we're miles away and the night feels too dark, we're still breathing the same air under the same sky, apart. Your memory, like a whisper, still echoes in my mind. 1,000 little moments I wish I could rewind. They said it was impossible, a love that couldn't stay, but no one ever told my heart how to walk away. I see your face in every star shining through the night, like a promise in the distance, still holding on to life. We're under the same above tonight still remembers who we are. Even if the world divides and tears our dreams apart, we'll always share forever the same sky in our hearts. We found each other in the quiet, like a spark in the dark. Two lonely souls colliding, leaving fire in our hearts. But every smile we shared was followed by a warning sound. They said this love we're building was never meant to be found. They try to pull us under, try to make us fall apart, but every broken moment only pulled us back to the start. This is a love they never wanted, a dream they tried to end, but every tear we cried together only made our hearts defend. If the world stands in our way tonight, I'll still choose you again, because a love they never wanted is the one I can't pretend. Every door they closed before us, every road they tried to block, couldn't stop the beating of our stubborn hearts in shock. They see a reckless story, a mistake we shouldn't make, but they don't feel the thunder every time our hands awake. They say we'll end in heartbreak, that this fire will burn out, but every breath without you is something I can't live without. This is a love they never wanted, a dream they tried to end, but every tear we cried together only made our hearts defend. If the world stands in our way tonight, I'll still choose you again, because the love they never wanted is the one I can't pretend. Maybe we were never meant to follow their design. Maybe broken rules of love are where our hearts align. This is a love they never wanted, but it's stronger than their fears. Every fight and every scar only brought us closer here. If tomorrow tears us apart, or writes a different end, I'll still remember forever the love they never We meet where the night is quiet, when no one knows our names. Two shadows in the silence, playing secret games. Your smile feels like a sunrise, but it fades before the day. Because a love like ours was never meant to stay. Every time we say goodbye, it cuts a little deep. But every tear we try to hide is a promise that we keep. We're hidden between goodbyes, living in borrowed time, holding on to moments that the world calls a crime. If loving you is wrong tonight, then why does it feel so right? And every tear we try to hide, we're hidden between goodbyes. The darkness still echoes in my mind. 1,000 silent memories we're leaving far behind. They'll never see the story written in our hearts, a love that lives in whispers even when we're apart. Every step away from you feels harder than before, but every stolen moment makes me love you even more. We're hidden between goodbyes, living in borrowed time, holding on to moments that the world calls a crime. If loving you is wrong tonight, then why does it feel so right? And every tear we try to hidden between goodbye. Maybe in another life when no one draws the lines, we wouldn't have to hide our love between these sad goodbyes. We're hidden between goodbyes, but our hearts still collide. Even if tomorrow comes and pulls us to both sides, if fate decides to break our hearts and slowly say goodbye, our love will still be living, hidden in the night. We walk the streets in silence, like strangers passing by. But every stolen moment feels like a hidden lie. They say our hearts are reckless, a story that's too loud. Two souls that keep on beating for a love that's not allowed. They built their rules around us, told us to turn around. But every time I leave you, my world just falls back down. Our love isn't allowed, they say, but my heart still feels your way. Every night and every day, I keep calling out your name. If loving you is something wrong, then I don't wanna be right. Because even in the dark, you're the only light. We hide between the shadows, where broken dreams remain, where whispers turn to secrets and kisses taste like pain. They don't hear our heartbeat, they don't know what we feel. But every time you hold me, the world becomes so real. They say this love is foolish, something we should forget. to unstoppable hearts. Fire love isn't allowed, they say, but nothing feels more true. If the whole world stands between us, I'll still run back to you. Let them build their walls so high, let them try to keep us apart, because no rule in this world can control my heart. They said we can't be together, said our worlds are far apart. Different roads, different stories, different dreams inside our hearts. They try to draw the borders where our love should never go, but every time I see your face, I know I can't let go. They keep saying we're impossible, like love is just a game, but every beat inside my chest is calling out your name. They said we can't, they said we shouldn't, said our love would only fall, but every time I try to leave, your voice still breaks the wall. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them say we're meant to fail, because the truth inside my heart is stronger than their tale. Every whisper in the hallway, every judge and stare we face, feels like standing in a storm with nowhere safe to stay. But when your hand is in my hand, the world just fades away, and all the noise around us has nothing left to say. They call it just a mistake, something we will outgrow, but they don't feel the fire that refuses to let go. They said we can't, they said we shouldn't, said our love would only fall, but every time I try to leave, your voice still breaks the wall. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them say we're meant to fail, because the truth inside my heart is stronger than their tale. Maybe the road is broken, maybe the sky will fall, but I'd rather lose the whole world than never love at all. They said we can't, they said it's over before we could begin, but every tear and every scar is proof we're still within. So let the world keep saying no, let them build another wall, because a love that fights this hard will never truly fall. We met where the silence hides between the shadows of the night. Your eyes told 1,000 stories, but none of them felt right. say our love is danger, a fire we shouldn't start. But every time you touch me, you awaken my heart. They built a line between us, said we should stay apart. But how do you stop a feeling that already owns your heart? We are forbidden hearts tonight, dancing in the fading light. They say we shouldn't feel this way, but love was never meant to obey. If the world tells us goodbye, still I won't let this love die. Even if it's torn apart, we will always be forbidden hearts. Every step feels like a secret, every word we hide away, like two souls in the darkness, waiting for the break of day. They don't hear the silence where our promises remain. They don't feel the thunder running through our veins. They say we're just a mistake, a story doomed to end. But every stolen moment makes me fall for you again. We are forbidden hearts tonight, dancing in the fading light. They say we shouldn't feel this way, but love was never meant to obey. If the world tells us goodbye, still I won't let this love die. Even if it's torn apart, we will always be forbidden hearts. Maybe someday they'll understand the truth we try to hide, that love can grow in broken lands where hope refuses to die. We are forbidden hearts tonight, still burning in the night. Even if the world divides, I'll always stand by your side. If loving you is wrong somehow, then let the stars fall down, because forever from the start, we were just forbidden hearts. We were standing in the shadows when no one else could see. Your hand was slowly reaching, like it was meant for me. But voices in the distance were calling us apart, saying love like ours would only break their hearts. They built their walls around us, said we should walk away. But every time I see you, my heart refuses to obey. It's love against the world tonight, two hearts ready for the fight. They can say we're wrong again, but I will hold your hand till the end. If the sky falls and the stars all fade, I still choose you, I'm not afraid. Let them say what they wanna say, our love will find a way. Every whispered rumor, every judging stare couldn't stop the feeling growing everywhere. They tried to write our story before we could begin, but they don't know the fire burning deep within. They told us we were foolish, said dreams like this won't last, but every step without you feels like losing what we have. It's love against the world tonight, two hearts ready for the flight. They can say we're wrong again, but I will hold your hand till the end. If the sky falls and the stars all fade, I'll still choose you. I'm not afraid. Let them say what they want to say. Our love will find a way. Maybe the road is broken, maybe the night is long, but love like this was never meant to follow what is wrong. If loving you is madness, then let the world be right. I'll stand beside you always, through every darkest night. It's love against the world tonight, but your arms still feel like home. If we lose everything we have, at least we won't be